Santa baby, slip a staple under the tree for me. Been an awful good girl, Santa baby, and hurry down the chimney tonight.
Hello everyone, and thanks for joining me for another design tutorial this week. I've decided to kick off holiday season with a really cute design. I've entitled it Santa Suit. I'm using 2 different image plates, and we're also going to be doing background colors behind our stamping so that we make it pop and look like 3D. So grab your materials everybody, and let's get started, and I'll teach you how to do this design step by step. For the first step, you're going to want to paint your nails a nice bright red. I've chosen to use the China Glaze polish entitled Poinsettia. It's from the new collection out this winter called Let It Snow. Really pretty color. You do need 2 coats though, so make sure you put it on and let that dry really well. The next step we're going to do after your polish is dried is we're going to take our white Miji pen and we're going to do the background for our buttons. We want to do the white in behind before we stamp in black because it'll make the button look 3D. We're going to start up here at the top of the nail, and depending on the size of your nail will depend on how many buttons you can do. If you have a shorter nail, you could do 1 button and then the belt. So what we're going to do, make sure when you start your Miji pen you squeeze a little bit out on a paper towel. I'm just going to start here in the middle, and then I'm just going to go out in a circle. And we don't want this circle to be too big, and you don't want to squeeze too much polish either because it'll take forever to dry. So take a look at your stamp of the button first, and then you can gauge how big to make your white background. Okay, so about that. I'm going to do another button right underneath. And I'm just going to start in the middle, and I'm just squeezing gently and tapping. These don't have to be perfect circles because we are going to stamp over them. However, if you do make them too big, you will see a lot of the white on the outside of your stamp when you stamp it in black. So less is more, I would say. You want to keep the buttons a little bit smaller. Then you're going to take a black striper, or you could take your Miji pen as well, but I find I can use the striper a lot better to get a more straight line. It's totally up to you. Or you can just use a black polish with the brush, whatever you find is going to work. And we're going to do the background of the belt now. So I'm going to take my striper and I'm just going to go right across, right underneath my buttons there, like that. I'm going to turn my nail and check to see if I got it straight. Okay, you can always fix that later. And I'm just going to go right underneath and make my line a little thicker. Grab a little bit more paint. Go right underneath that. And again, you want to take a look at your belt stamp on your image plate and see how wide it is, and that will determine how much background you're going to put. Okay, so you're just going from one side to the other. A lot of people ask me, how do I do my left hand? Well, it is tricky, especially if you're using things like this. So this might be a design where you get a friend to help you out, because it's way easier to do your good hand than your bad hand. I'm just going to add a little bit more down there. Straighten up my lines a little bit. Sometimes it helps if you turn your nail perhaps a different angle, and then you can see a little bit better. If you hold it closer to you, up higher, sometimes that helps too. Okay, I think that's good enough. This is going to take a little bit to dry, just like regular polish, so you want to make sure that the white and the black is really dry before you stamp on it, otherwise it's all going to move. So once that's dry, we're going to get to the stamping part. And that's our next step. Okay, so for the next step, we're going to use the small button image here on plate M16. And we're going to stamp over our white backgrounds that we've already created. We're going to take our black stamping polish I'm going to go over the small button. I use the small end of my stamper, check it, and then I'm just going to line it up and go right over top like that. Okay, I'm going to clean in between, and I'm going to do that again for the next button. Now, it's okay if you don't totally match it up perfectly. Remember, this is just for fun, and it'll still look amazing. Okay, I always take off anything that gets extra on the stamper with my thumb, but you gotta do that really quickly. Okay, line it up again and go right over top. Okay, just like that. Otherwise, it's dry on you. Okay, and as you can see, I went off a little center too. I've got a little bit of white showing on the opposite side, but I think it still looks nice. Okay, so now we're going to take our M9 plate and we're going to do the belt. Okay, so the belt image right here. And we're going to use our white stamping polish this time, and we're going to go over our black stripe that we already made for the background of our belt. So right over the belt, scrape across. I'm still going to use my small end of my stamper. I'm just going to line it up on the side of my nail and go right over top. Okay, just like that. So as you can see, I've got the white belt and the black buttons, and it's kind of a reverse. It stands out really nice. For the final step, everyone knows that watches me, I love my bling. So I'm going to use a glitter striper. This one's from Art Club, and it's just a silver glitter striper, and I'm going to highlight the top and bottom of my belt with a little bit of bling. After all, it is the holidays. Lots of sparkly things out there. So less is more, because you can always add after. You don't want to get big globs of glitter on your nail design. I'm just going to do that. Now another option could be, you could do a really fine glitter top coat over top of the whole nail and give it a whole glitter effect. That'd be pretty too. But this time I just wanted to highlight my belt. And that way, if your belt didn't totally match up with your black background, it won't matter because you're fixing the top and the bottom with glitter anyway. Make sure that dries really well before you put your top coat on top. Remember, when you're using your top coat, you want lots on your brush and you only go over your design once. So thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed seeing this design. I hope you give it a try. Don't be scared to try new things. There's no wrong mistakes. Remember, you can always take it off with nail polish remover if you don't like it, or try again. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks so much and happy stamping.